Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Creator and Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshiah Israel of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. In this particular presentation, brothers and sisters, we intend to bring in prelude the matter regarding whether or not the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28 was fulfilled in the time of the Assyrians. Deuteronomy 28 was fulfilled in the time of the Assyrians. What we're going to get into, brothers and sisters, in this is a discussion. This is going to be not long. As noted, this is a prelude to what we're going to talk about. So, brothers and sisters, without any further ado, let us pull up the PowerPoint and get started in this particular manner. Thank you for that. Giving honor and praise unto the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. This presentation is brought to you all from Danite Publications. This is a short matter regarding the presentation that will be on September 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please subscribe to the channel. The Assyrians, which were of importance to the Israelites, are as follows. Shalmaneser III, Adad-Nerari, Tiglath-Pileser, Shalmaneser V, Sargon II, Sennacherib, Esarhaddon, and Ashurbanipal II. So, brothers and sisters, looking at this in this particular manner, we're going to, with the time allotted, all right? We're going to, with the time allotted, all right, highlight the names of importance in this particular case. We have here Shalmaneser III. We have here Adad-Nerari. We have here Tiglath-Pileser III. We have here Shalmaneser V. We have here Sargon II. We have here Sennacherib. And we have here Esarhaddon. All right. Now, we want to get into this because there are brothers and sisters, and I say this in no disrespect, who are saying that Deuteronomy 28 culminated and ended while Assyria was still ruling. So what we're going to do is go over some timelines using the scriptures as a base and bring this out to the people for reference purposes. We read right here, brothers and sisters. Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity were building a temple unto the Lord, the God of Israel, Shalom, my brother Yirmiyahu, then they drew near to Zerubbabel and to the heads of the fathers' houses, and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Assyria, who brought us up hither. So what we have just read is during the time of Ezra, when they were rebuilding the temple. Now, this is during the time when the people who were in world power were the Persians. As we've gone over in the presentation called From Jerusalem to the Hood, the world powers that we have been speaking upon was Assyria, followed by Babylon, followed by Persia. So now by the time we get to Ezra, Assyria as an empire had fallen. If I can be heard, and if people are in good spirits, please type in the number 4. If I can be heard well and people are in good spirits, please type in the number 4. I'm actually on break at work doing this, all right? Just wanted that to be noted if I can be heard, because I can't really hear myself like that. Thank you. So looking at this, we're going to go over the matter that we see here on whether or not the prophecies that we see in Deuteronomy 28 were culminated, brothers and sisters, in that particular manner. All right, let's go on and see in this particular case, family. Thank you for that, my brother Yirmiyahu. Old Testament timeline. We have here creation, and we're going to use, brothers and sisters, the laser pointer. We have here creation, call of Abraham, the Exodus, entrance into Canaan, conquest completed, Israel monarchy begins, division of the kingdom, fall of the northern kingdom, fall of the southern kingdom, restoration of the land, end of the Old Testament. Now, we want to point something out because they're saying, brothers and sisters, that during the time of Esarhaddon, and brothers and sisters, he passed away in the 7th century BCE. All right, we want to, all right, with a highlighter, but with a different color if we may, all right, show what we're talking about here, because this date actually becomes of importance in this case. Now, let's look at this, brothers and sisters, all right? Now, if you're saying that Deuteronomy 28's prophecy ended during the time of Esarhaddon of Assyria, and he passed away in the era of the in the 7th century BCE, we want to ask questions concerning the fall of the southern kingdom, which was in 586 BCE. That being, brothers and sisters, the difference between Esarhaddon's death in 669 BCE, all right, I'm going to use, brothers and sisters, my calculator. You have 669, take away 586. That's an 83-year difference between the death of Esarhaddon and, brothers and sisters, the fall of the southern kingdom. Now, that's going to become important because Jeremiah is going to be mentioned, as well as Daniel, because we want to show how it is not during the time of the Assyrians that Deuteronomy's prophecy in Deuteronomy 28 came to pass. All right. Now, when we look at this here, the fall of the northern kingdom, right? The northern kingdom fell for the same reason the southern kingdom fell, due to their wickedness. But brothers and sisters, the northern kingdom fell, okay, in the timing of the 8th century BCE. So if we take 722, take away 586, we get 136. So Assyria fell as a kingdom in 609, as some say, BCE. 609 take away 586 is 23 years. But why does this become important? Because of what we're going to get into at this point. Let's go on, brothers and sisters. And we're going to come back to this chart of the Old Testament timeline. Jeremiah chapter 36, verse 4 and verse 8. Then Jeremiah called Baruch, the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the words of Jeremiah all the words of the Most High, of Yah, which he had spoken unto him, upon a roll in a book. And Baruch, the son of Neriah, did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book of the words of Yah in the Most High's house. So what are we reading right here in Jeremiah is that he had a scribe, brothers and sisters, by the name of Baruch, all right? Baruch, the son of Neriah. Now, when you look right here in the Hebrew, the bet, the resh, and the other letters, Baruch. This is what you call, brothers and sisters, the Baruch Bola. And this has been confirmed in archaeology, brothers and sisters, all right, for reference purposes, all right? Now, brothers and sisters, we're going to, with the pen for reference purposes, right? What you see there underlined in the red on the second part of that, that right there spells Neriah. The first line spells Baruch. All right, we just want to point that out for reference purposes. And we're going to, brothers and sisters, with that, erase the ink with that. So this becomes very, very important. Let's go on and see what we're going to read into. Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 15 through 17, and Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 11. Then the Lord said unto me, out of the north, the evil shall break forth upon the inhabitants of the land. For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, saith the Most High. And they shall come, and they shall set every man his throne at the entrance of the gates of Jerusalem, and against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Judah. Now, brothers and sisters, why does that become important in this particular case? Is because of this. Jeremiah's prophecy is in agreement with Deuteronomy 28. Yet we see brothers and sisters going back here, okay, into this timeline, and we're going to erase the ink on this, right? Jeremiah, you about to see be underlined. That is after Assyria's fall. Jeremiah began to prophesy while Babylon was a kingdom, and during the fall of the Assyrian kingdom. We remember, brothers and sisters, right, that Esarhaddon, brothers and sisters, his death happened in 669 BCE. That's before Jeremiah. That's before the matter that we're talking about. Because Deuteronomy 28 did not end in the timing of the Assyrian kingdom. Now, let's look at this, brothers and sisters, in this particular case, right? And it goes on to say this. And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, and that they have forsaken me, and have offered unto other gods, and worshiped the work of their own hands. And then it goes on in chapter 25, verse 11, and this whole land shall be a desolation and a waste, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Now, Nebuchadnezzar came to the throne after his father Nabopolassar. All right, when Babylon was reaching its zenith as an empire and as a kingdom. Let's remember that and correlate with what we're talking about and compare it to what people do say. Jeremiah 50, verse 17 through 18. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria have devoured him. And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had broken his bones. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria. What does that mean? What can we gather from that? As he has punished the king of Assyria. The Assyrian kingdom done fell by this time, brothers and sisters. So it says what right here? Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away, meaning away from his land. All right, taking him out of his land. First, the king of Assyria have devoured him, because the Assyrian style was to sit there and make your government feeble by taking away the royalty. And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had broken his bones. So how then you got people saying that the Israelites in America, quote unquote, black Hebrew Israelites, which we don't call ourselves, are incorrect when we use Deuteronomy 28, speaking about our situation by saying that it ended in prophecy during the time of the Assyrians, yet we still see the prophecies of Deuteronomy 28 happening to the Israelites after the fall of Assyria. That is the question to ask. And we're using the book, timelines, and references for the stance in which we want to present to the people. Let's go on, brothers and sisters. Daniel chapter 7, verse 2. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon 2 feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. So this is talking, brothers and sisters, about Babylon. Babylon being a kingdom in this particular case, right? What does it say? That Daniel beheld till the wings thereof were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth, meaning that it became high, it became mighty, and made to stand upon 2 feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Could that man's heart given to it be the symbol of Nebuchadnezzar, spoken about in Jeremiah, spoken about after the fall of the Assyrians, spoken about after the timing of Esarhaddon? Let's go on, family. Daniel chapter 9, verse 1 through 2 and verse 11. It goes on to say this. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, of the seed of the Medes, who was made king over the realm of the Chaldees. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, meditated in the books over the number of the years wherewith the word of the Most High came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish for the desolation of Jerusalem 70 years. Why, brothers and sisters, does that become important? About the 70 years in Jerusalem. Let's go over a little bit of history, if you will, right? The northern kingdom of Israel began to fall to the Assyrians. Remember, this is the prelude to what we're going to talk about next week, right? And then Judah fell in part to the Assyrians. Assyria fell to the Babylonians. So as we read earlier in Jeremiah, that Israel and Judah were oppressed by Assyria and Babylon, it's not far-fetched in what we're talking about for reference purposes. That is something we want to point out in that particular case. All right. It goes on to say in the book of Daniel, and we're going to look at it from the laser pointer. Yea, or Israel have transgressed thy law, and have turned aside, so as not to hearken to thy voice. And so there have been poured out upon us the curse and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, for we have sinned against him. So what's being stated right there, brothers and sisters? Because Israel sinned against the Most High, it says the curse and the oath that's written in the law of Moses. The book that speaks about the curses in the laws of Moses is what we refer today as Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Now, Daniel, it says right here in chapter 9, in the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, of the seed of the Medes. So the Medo-Persian Empire was already in operation during the time of Daniel, after Persia defeated Babylon. So Daniel 7 verse 2 is talking what? About the Babylonians. And then the beard that stood up on one side is the kingdom of the Medes and the Persians. Daniel did not live during the time of the Assyrians. Daniel did not live during the time of Esarhaddon. That these people are proclaiming is when the prophecies of Deuteronomy 28 ended. So how then later on, if that be the case, do we see in Daniel chapter 9 that it says, so there have been poured out upon us the curse and the oath that is written in the law of Moses? How is that still being spoken upon if it was fulfilled in the time of the Assyrians, after the timing of the Assyrians? That is a question that we're going to pose to the people, brothers and sisters. So we're not going to take up any more of the time because this is a prelude, but just want that to be asked with the time allotted. I thank you all for joining, giving honor and praise to the Creator, the maker of heaven and earth. We know that the timing may have seemed off the regular schedule, but we wanted to get this out there to the people. Shout out to my brother Yirmiyahu. Shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to the people who I may not even know who subscribe and who support. And most definitely shout out to my lady Sarai, who is busy at the moment, but definitely is encouraging a brother in many and in all aspects. So, Torah to the Creator of heaven and earth. If I can be heard, And if people in good spirits, please type in the number 4 as we close this particular part out, family. All right. Again, this is a prelude, and what we're going to get into is later on, September, brothers and sisters, 14th. Subscribe to the channels here. Moreh Yeshiah Torah lessons, Moreh Yeshiah history lessons, and Moreh Yeshiah history lessons 2. And we're going to get into this, creator willing, and bring this out to the people. Shalom.